Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we are taking it a step further and setting up schedule refresh for our Python script. So your data stays up to date automatically. If you haven't seen the first part where we integrated Odoo with Power BI using a Python script, make sure to check it out. To get the link, click above as well as you can find in the description below. So before we get started, here is a quick recap of what we did in the first part. We wrote a Python script to fetch data from Odoo and post it into Power BI, saving us from costly connectors. So before going ahead with the procedure, we'll divide it in three steps. The first step is to install the on-premise data gateway in personal mode. This gateway acts as a bridge between your Power BI desktop and the online Power BI services for secure data transfer. So let's download the on-premise data gateway. We'll need to go to Power BI services first, then go to this download symbol, click on it. We'll see data gateway option over there. Click on it. You will land on the page where two types of gateways are there, standard mode and personal mode. So you have to be careful while choosing this type of gateway. We require personal mode. So remember guys, our Python script will only work with a personal mode of gateway. So let's click on download personal mode. As you can see guys, our gateway is downloaded and installed. Now after installing the gateway, let's move ahead to the step 2, configuring the data gateway. Now that you have the on-premise data gateway installed, it's time to configure it. Let's launch the gateway and let's sign in with the same ID where you will publish the dashboard. Click on next, choose the account. Here you can see the gateway is online and ready to be used. So guys, step 2 will ensure that the Power BI can securely access and refresh data from your local or on-premise sources, even when you are not actively working in Power BI desktop. So this step is very necessary. So guys, since our step 2 is finished now, let's move it to the step 3, which is publishing the reports and configuring the data source credentials. Let's publish the report now. As you can see, we have the report where we fetch the data from Odoo. This is the data. Save it now. Go to Power BI services. Click on the workspace. Create new workspace or publish in default workspace. Click on upload. Browse. It's getting uploaded guys. And data is getting imported now. Let's wait while it gets completely imported. Now you can see it is finished importing the data. Now let's configure the schedule refresh. In setting, you can see this error. You can't schedule refresh for this semantic model. This error generally comes due to unrecognized data source, which is a Python script. So here I'll tell you the trick how to configure and move ahead with. We need to have another option over here, which is gateway connection, and data source credentials option here, which is now not enabled due to this error. So to get rid of this error, as I told you, there's a trick which needs to be performed. The trick is that you also need to have a standard mode of gateway installed side by side. Let's install the standard mode as well. Go to the same link, download. So as you can see, standard mode gateway is downloaded. Let's install it. Accept. Click on install. As you can see, your standard mode is also installed. Now let's configure. To configure, enter the same email ID through which the personal mode was configured. Click on sign in. Choose the account. Here we'll register the new gateway on this computer. Select a data gateway name. Enter the recovery key. Click on the configure. So guys, you can see Personal mode and standard mode, both the gateways are installed and online. Now let's go to Power BI services, and here we'll discover the data sources. Now you can see guys, gateway and cloud connection option is now enabled, as well as data source credential option is also enabled. Since both the necessary options are now enabled, you can uninstall the standard mode of gateway, but don't forget to keep the personal one. Now let's configure the data source credential. This is very must to configure. Click on the edit credentials. Privacy level setting for this data source should be anything. Let's keep it none for now. Click on sign in, and there you go. Python data source updated. We are good to go now to configure the schedule refresh, guys. Now you can see the refresh option over here. Click on the refresh. This option will enable only after all the necessary procedures are done. Now let's configure a refresh. Enable this option. Choose refresh frequency, any. I'm choosing Delhi. Choose time zone as per your requirement. Choose any time and apply. Since we have finished all the necessary steps to configure the schedule refresh for a Python script, let's test it now. To test it manually, we'll go to our workspace and to the data set of this demo report. We'll click on refresh now. You can see preparing for refresh. Started refreshing, guys. Let's wait until it's get completely refreshed. So now you can see guys, it is completely refreshed, and we have successfully configured the schedule refresh for our Python script. And there you have it. Your data will now automatically refresh, keeping your reports up to date without any manual intervention. So in this video, we have installed on-premise data gateway, which is personal mode. Then we have configured the data gateway. We published a report, and we have seen that there was a error of unrecognized data source of Python script. We have resolved that error with the help of a trick in which we have installed personal mode as well as standard mode side by side. Then we could see data refresh option was enabled, and we have successfully configured the data refresh for our Python script. Thanks for watching. If you found this tutorial helpful, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel and hit the bell icon so you never miss an update. Don't forget to check out the first part if you haven't already.